the greatest form and the most insidious form of censorship is self-censorship, because that way there's no debate. There's no debate about why is this being censored and all this stuff. You just don't say it. You just don't write it. And this is what's happening in the mainstream media. The plan was to create a situation where no one ever hears or sees anything that the system, ultimately the cult, doesn't want you to see and hear. And so the censorship was always going to go on getting more and more fierce and extreme. This cult is evil. So it's evil because it has an absence of love. And if you have an absence of love, then basically there are no limits to what you will do, because without access to love, which includes things like empathy and compassion and things like that, there are no emotional consequences for you, no matter how horrific you behave. If you fall into these very low, dense frequencies in which evil operates, then evil can connect with you. It can make a frequency connection with you because you've fallen into its frequency layer, and it can influence your behavior. I'm seeing more and more of this as I look around the world now, as people fall into this, deeply into this frequency, which is founded on a 4-letter word called fear. And the way out of that predicament is a raising of frequency, so that you're not able to be connected with, locked into, attached to this this evil. The whole idea of the cult, not least through fear, freezing people with fear, which is a low vibrational state. So it pulls people into greater density in terms of their consciousness, their energetic field. But if you get pulled out of the heart, then the head and the belly, the emotions and the thought processes, start being the dominant formations or formers of perception. This cult has to get us to self-identify with little me and think the experience is who we are instead of just an experience we're having. And not let us realize that we have enormous access to tap into enormous levels of power to dictate our own reality and not have it dictated for us. Speak your truth. Why should someone else dictate your sense of reality and what you say and don't say, even what you think? What right have they to do that? You see, if you mold yourself or limit yourself so that you fit in with what you think other people would like you to be or want you to be, or have the opinions that you think other people want you to have, then you're no longer you. You've gone. You're them. You are no longer a unique expression of all that is. You are their version of what they think you should be. You have become them, and you've allowed them to dictate your reality, your perceptions, and thus your reality. And what kind of power is that? This is the thing. What kind of self-respect is that? Self-respect would never let someone else tell you what to think. And they'd never let someone else tell you what to do when you can see that what they're telling you to do is either a nonsense or designed to control you. You wouldn't do it. If they can get you to see the contradictions and that make no sense and how ridiculous they are, and you can see that moronic people are telling you to do them, if they can get you to still do them, to still obey despite that, then you've given them your self-respect, and there's nothing left but submission and obeying. So self-respect says, I'm not doing what I know is there to manipulate me and control me. I'm not doing what I can see is nonsense. I'm not thinking what you want me to think just because you want me to think it. I am a unique expression of all that is, and I'm going to express that uniqueness. And if you don't like it, well, you can do the other thing. And this is the other thing about when people hurl abuse at you or ridicule at you, and you say, I'm upset, that's hurt me, I'm offended. Well, you've actually said exactly the situation. I'm offended. I'm hurt. And what I mean by that is you've made the decision to receive that in a way that hurts you and offends you. Now, I don't know what it's like to be offended. I don't. I can't manifest that phrase or that feeling. I'm offended. How dare you say that? So speaking your truth is vital. And if you don't, then where are you now? You have gone. And you, like all yous, are incredibly unique, incredibly special. And you should have the self-respect to celebrate that and not let some uninformed idiot get you to stop being you just because he doesn't like what you is or doesn't agree with it. Well, believe what you like, mate, but you're not telling me what to think. What is life? It's choice and consequence, choice and consequence, choice and consequence. That's what it is. That's what it is everywhere outside this reality too, choice and consequence. You make choices and you take consequences for them. If you like the consequences, you make the same choices. If you don't, you make different choices. And what happens with the consequence is you have an experience. So that experience can be seen, if you don't like it, can be seen as a bad thing, a negative thing. Or you can see it a very positive thing. You can say, well, I'm having this experience, and what it's showing me is that choice could have been better. So now I'm a wiser person. I'm a more enlightened person. I'm a more knowledgeable person. Thank you for the experience, and I'm going to make a different choice, and I'm going to have a different experience. And so it goes on. The fear of what other people think is what makes people give their uniqueness away. If I say this, what will they think of me? And if you ask most people to list their 5 biggest fears, great numbers of them will be the fear of speaking in public. Why is that? Because they are looking to the audience for confirmation. They're looking to the audience to confirm what they're saying in their reaction. And therefore, if you do that, you start telling the audience what it wants to hear. And you've lost you again. And you've become part of the herd again, because you're telling the herd what it wants to think, what it wants to hear. When you lose the fear of what other people think, then you say what you think, not what you think they want to hear. And if they don't like it, well, that's fine. They have every right not to like it. Freedom is the freedom for people to disagree with you. This is what the wokers don't understand. Freedom is not the freedom for people to agree with you. It's the freedom of everyone to have their own unique spin on a situation. And for everyone to respect everyone else's right to have a different opinion. That's what freedom is. And so if you speak your truth and don't think about the reaction of those listening, hearing, but you just speak your truth, then you lose the fear of speaking in public, because you are just saying what you think, and you're not attached to how the audience receive it. The greatest form and the most insidious form of censorship is self-censorship, because that way there's no debate. There's no debate about why is this being censored and all this stuff. You just don't say it. You just don't write it. And this is what's happening in the mainstream media, and it's what's happening with the insane censorship in Silicon Valley, which is a cult creation. And that's, I better not say this, otherwise I'll get censored, or I might, get blocked, or I might get deleted, or I better not write this because it won't get in the paper anyway. I knew in the spring of 2020 that what I was going to say in some high-profile interviews was going to get me, probably get me thrown off YouTube and thrown off Facebook and all this stuff. But I will not censor myself. I won't. I'm going to speak my truth, and the consequences will take care of themselves. And what happens, what you find is that you find ways around it. I mean, my videos don't get the numbers they would on YouTube, okay, but they get massive numbers on alternative sites. So, you find ways around it. But what you don't do is stop speaking your truth, because that is a very dangerous road. Well, I won't say this because then I might not get censored and the censorship increases. Okay, well, I won't say this, and then I might not get censored. And eventually, you're not saying anything worth hearing. That the plan was to create a situation where no one ever hears or sees anything that the system, ultimately the cult, doesn't want you to see and hear. And so the censorship was always going to go on getting more and more fierce and extreme.
Help by spreading this message. Share with your friends, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications to stay updated.